I lit a match just to see what I lose. Every scar glows like a memory's bruise. They say healing comes when the pain lets go, but I think I'd miss the flame, you know. 'Cause peace feels like silence, and silence is loud. I talk to my ghosts, they're the best I've found. The mirror don't lie, but it don't tell the truth. I'm somewhere between me and you. So burn me beautiful, make me feel alive. Tear me apart just to prove I can survive. If the ashes are all that's left tonight, at least I can say I burn right.
All right, this will be the first little test for the Land Cruiser going on the highway. I'm gonna see if this is roadworthy after doing the 3-link swap. See how road manners are. We don't have any sway bars currently, so this will be interesting to see how it corners, how it handles. Pretty much all the driving I've done has been around town. Fastest I've gotten up to is around 45, 50. So this will be good to kind of stretch your legs. We're out in a rural area here, so that if anything goes wrong, we're not going to be out in the middle of traffic. So we've changed a lot of the geometry in this thing after doing the 3-link. We're on coilovers, we're 3-linked in the front, we have the stock geometry in the rear that the Land Cruiser had before. But there's been a lot of things welded to these axles. There's, you know, bigger components, heavier loads laterally on the panhards, which were made from scratch as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing handles getting up to, hopefully we can get up to 70 today. That's the goal, is to get up to 70 and see how it handles. One thing I've noticed right off the bat is the turning radius. I wouldn't say it's abysmal, but this axle is 4 inches wider, 4 or 5 than the Land Cruiser axles, so definitely notice that. I do like the 456 gears. It's just a click higher than the 410s that this came with, and it's nice having that little bit extra gearing. Yeah, 3rd gear still just is fun, but you can get into 4th a little bit easier. All right, so we're trying some back roads here. Speed limit's 35. I'm gonna pay close attention to how this thing's cornering. I do not have a steering brace in right now. I cut it out because I was wondering about you know, the amount of room I had for the panhard bar. I ended up using a pipe bender in order to bend that panhard to have enough clearance. I'm gonna remake it or have one made for me so that I have enough room to bend it up towards the oil pan. That's the whole thing, is I needed to clear the Cummins oil pan, and you need a special type of steering base for that. It's just not the stock, you know, round piece of tubing. That is kind of a big worry right now, because there's a lot of examples of that area around the panhard mount on the frame cracking, and definitely don't want that. That's going to cause death wobble, and it could happen at a time where you're not thinking about it driving on the highway. When you have 42s and a 1-ton axle up front controlling your, you know, steering geometry, it gets a little sketchy. Okay, we're going to do a little, let's do this here. We'll go 3rd gear pull just like last time. Straightaway is clear, we said. Okay, 3rd gear pull. 45. A little bit of camber to this road. Going about 65, 70. Steering wheel's a little to the right. That's because, oh, it's got some lift on it. I was gonna say, because the road is definitely off camber. That was fun though. All right, it's a little slalom here. Yeah, we're definitely slowing way down for this. We're not taking this fast until we have sway bars, but I mean, for the amount of lift this thing has, I do feel pretty confident. It's just when you get to that turn, you really want to slow down because of that body roll. I mean, I think a lot of it's mental. Until I get more confidence, I'm slowing way down just because it feels like such a boat, which it is. But I mean, I gotta get some anti-rock sway bars. It'll be fine eventually. I'm not worried about the sway. The cool thing is, this is not yet a trailer queen. We're driving on, you know, regular roads right now. This is not an off-road only vehicle. Although it is getting very close, but we can fix that. We can tune this. We've got a little bit of slop in the steering. We'll have to rebuild our steering box with the 105 sector shaft, get a little bit more strength out of that. Yeah, there's some tuning we can do. I'm gonna switch to Heims for the steering instead of the 1-ton tie rod ends. Yeah, there's some stuff we can definitely do. Okay, so let's see if we can do a little bit more of a sustained, you know, 65, 75 miles an hour. I'm also keeping an eye on my AGTs, my fuel pressure, my boost and all of that, just because I want to see if anything's changing after the 1-tons are in there. You know, if it's having to work harder, the engine, you know, just where my RPMs are and all that. Everything feels really good. Again, the steering is loose. I've got this much play in it right now. Okay, so we're at 35. We're back up at 40. Let's get all the way up to 65. Definitely feels a little slower. I have some tuning I need to do to adjust boost, pre-boost. I think I'm getting a little too rich, rolling a little coal, I'm noticing. It's not ideal, both for fuel economy and EGTs. I'm setting at about 700 right now. All right. Okay, 4th gear pull, 2,300 RPM, 65. Okay, so we're sitting just under 2,000 RPM, going 60. Get a little bit better of a straightaway up here after we make this turn, this corner. And let's try and get up to 70. We're at 67, 68 right now. Look at the steering wheel. I mean, it's straight. I do notice when I come out of gear that the whole thing likes to go like this. I think from the amount of torque the Cummins has, and not having any sway bars, that'll definitely do it, or a steering stabilizer. But honestly, 4th gear feels great. I'm railing on these gears right now. Still in the break-in period. I'm at about 456 miles, and just railing on these things. I haven't even changed the gear oil, which is probably not recommended, but I think they're fine. I've got enough miles on them to where I think they're doing good. Okay, so 50, 55, let's get up to 75. 60, 65. Calibrate my speedometer for the 456 gears. Yeah, so we're going 70. And wheel is straight. I mean, look, I put this together. I eyeballed, I didn't even use a tape measure. I just eyeballed everything. Looked away, tacked it into place, welded it, spray painted. Now it's on the road. So if you see this coming down the road, you might want to change lanes. Be advised. Just kidding. I did use a measuring tape and a micrometer, a bunch of other things. This is a safe vehicle, guys. This is 100% safe. This is DOT approved. I am, I don't know if you can tell, but I am just giddy right now because I was very worried that I was not going to be able to drive this on the roads, that I had sacrificed its on-road drivability because I want so much flex and so much articulation out of this. However, I highly recommend, this is a Cummins swap Land Cruiser on 42s, okay? I highly recommend doing a 3-link. Because I already know, just from the math, that this is going to be great off-road. I already know that. On road, this handles amazing. There's some little things that I can tweak on it. I'll get an alignment, maybe. One thing I notice is that with this Dana 60 Kingpin, it's definitely, it's tough because depending on what type of lift you want, how much lift, there's a fine line in between caster and drive line angles. I've got a dual cardan in the front, and you know, Subarus. Okay. Are you wanting me to pass you?
Subaru passed us.
Okay, he was waiting for Wyatt. All right, we're gonna do a little pass, try and pass the chase car now to get a little bit of B-roll. Here we go, 55. We'll really get on it this time. 60. And we're just pulling hard. Are at like 1100. I was really dogging it there in 5th gear. So we've gone to a variation of the 2nd gen lift pump that is tuned for the VE pump so that we're able to get high volume, low pressure. So I've only got fuel pressure of about 3 PSI. So that's pretty low, but high volume, that's what's important. So I've definitely noticed a big change in throttle response, fuel economy even, and just drivability after doing that lift pump upgrade. And nice just being able to monitor it right here on my gauges. So, all right, there goes our chase car, or lead car. Highest EGTs I've seen been about 1100. Man, you just feel like a king driving this thing. I mean, it's just, all right, we got this little bend coming up here. Let's see how we go. Engine's feeling like it's really starting to get broken in now. Okay, and boost. Having all that extra weight to have to push around. That's what I'm feeling from the engine. It likes to work. Okay, right there is about, you know, as much body roll as I feel comfortable with. It's pretty intense. You feel the back squatting because I've got the front, I've got it level for sure. So that feels good having that back squat, but it's still, you know, cameraman's still out the sunroof. All right, here we go. This truck is probably like, probably sees us filming. He's like, what a douchebag. You got a BMW, a guy popping out of the hood filming this big monstrosity of a, you know, Toyota. All right, so I think overall, very positive first drive, going further and faster than 50 miles per hour or 45. I've just been kind of lightly babying it. What you're doing in that gear braking period is you're letting the gears cycle, you're letting the gear pattern basically lap into each other. You're taking off the black oxide, so this gear oil is going to be completely black when I dump it. We're going to be at 500 miles for our braking period as soon as we get home. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then next video I'm sure you guys are very stoked.
Car coming.
we're going to be going off-roading. We're gonna hit Denver Creek like we did around this time last year.
Got pedestrians down at the crest of the hill.
Okay, we'll go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, third gear pull, 40 miles an hour, 45, 50, 55, 60. This thing just keeps rolling. It's like a train. Okay, got a little turn coming up here. Felt it trying to not run away,
Get down.
but it like definitely kept going there. The throttle, like cable stuck or something. So I was like, oh. Nice thing about a manual is just pop it out of here, it'll be fine. Wasn't watching EGTs, was too busy concentrating on the road. But man, it pulls pretty hard. Definitely, I'm not looking, I mean, I can definitely see it rolling coal, but I'm not really looking at how much smoke's coming out the back. I'm sure there's a lot. So it needs a tune. I want more fuel later in the power band. So I want it past like 2300 RPM for 25. So that's just turning the star wheel in, or out rather. I turned it in last time. That's giving me a bunch of pre-boost fuel. The idea was that I would start spooling a little bit earlier, but yeah, no, we're happy. This is very good. A lot of data, a lot of positive data, and we're still getting 20 miles an hour. Like, how cool is that? Like, of course, diesel is more expensive than gas. Go figure. Which is super arbitrary. Like, diesel is number 4 or 5 in the refinement process, whereas gas is like number 14. Oh well. Also noticing a little bit of a squeaking sound coming from the brakes. Probably didn't install a pad or a bracket or something correctly, but they do stop. So that's the important part, they do stop. Now the question is, will it be able to make this relatively sharp turn here? All right, well, successful first drive on the highway. We haven't made it home yet though, so we'll see. We did indeed make it home with no issues, and I am just floored that this thing is able to drive on the highways and be my daily driver right now. So next videos are gonna be installing a few things to make this thing bulletproof, and then we're gonna take it out on the trail and show it some use. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.